Hey buddies, Miss Puggy here coming at another Borderlands 3 video. Today I want to discuss the crazy Earl's re-roll machine, the machine that basically allows you to re-roll anointments for Eridium, and discuss whether or not this is the proper solution for the amount of time we spend farming gear. Now I do feel like the crazy Earl's re-roll machine is pretty cool, but there is one major problem, and that's the amount of anointments there are in the game. There is about 70 different anointments that are in the game, if you don't count the Bloody Harvest anointments, of course. But there's 70 anointments in the game, which means that every time you re-roll in the machine for 250 Eridium, it has a 1.4% chance of getting your desired anointment. And that 1.4% chance is a big problem if you take into account how many times you have to try to get to even close to 99% chance of getting your desired anointment, and we're going to discuss that in a few moments. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You have no idea how much it helps me out. We're literally at 890 subscribers. We are 10 subscribers away from 900. I would love to get there. Thank you very much, and let's get into it. So let's real quick do some of the math. The 1.4% chance, 1 out of 70% chance, since there's 70 anointments. If you were to take that, put into a calculator, and run how many times you would have to try at the machine before you even got close to 99% chance, the amount of times you would have to re-roll your anointment before you get your desired anointment, it would take about 321 tries to even get a 99% chance at your desired anointment. That is a crazy huge amount. That's going to cost you 80,000 Eridium with 220 tries if we round that down. That's just a crazy amount of Eridium you would have to farm to even get your desired anointment. Now, of course, I know that the reroll machine is kind of acts as like a secondary option for farming. I know that it's not like immediately your go-to machine if you want to farm a better weapon, but it is very useful to not have to farm a desired legendary, which could have a very low % chance on dropping, to get your desired anointment. And it is a bit disappointing to go all the way to the machine, spend all your Eridium, and never get your anointment that you want. Now, there's a few different ways that we can actually fix this. Now, the first and most obvious way to fix this would technically be to just lower the price of the rerolls. Now, I feel like that is not the best solution, but that is the type of solution I've seen a lot discussed in the community. I personally don't think that is a good enough solution, because you still, as I said, to get a 99% chance at your desired anointment at the current state of the reroll machine, you have to do 321 tries. Even if you were to lower the Eridium to, like, I don't know, 100 per reroll, that's still a lot of Eridium you would have to get. And there isn't any Eridium farms out there that allows you to get hundreds and tens of thousands of Eridium very, very quickly. So I feel like that is a very niche solution. I feel like a better solution to fix this problem would do maybe keep the price the same, but instead maybe let the player reduce the amount of anointments that can get rerolled. So like maybe a chance out of 2, or depending on how much Eridium you spend, maybe it costs more Eridium getting rid of different anointments that you don't want, or choosing 3 anointments that you do want. You get to roll between the 3. I feel like that is a better solution. That is a decent solution, but I don't feel like that is the best solution we have in this particular situation, because I don't personally see Gearbox producing a like little side window that lists all the anointments, because that isn't something you see in the game. You don't see anything like that lists like a bunch of different like technical things. Like, I guess you could like kind of think of it as like when you're spawning a vehicle, you have a different choices of like machinery and stuff, but I don't feel like Gearbox would want to implement that into basically a vending machine. So instead, I feel like what Gearbox should do is to increase the total price of the Anointment Re-Roll. Now, right off the bat, that sounds crazy, but with the increase of costs for the Eridium, instead we get to choose which anointment we want. Like I said before, I still don't think Gearbox would allow that, because it does show it would have to have worn a different type of window that isn't in the game at all. I'm sure they can program it in. It'd be really easy for these developers to do it, I'm sure. But it just doesn't seem very Gearboxy to me. So instead, maybe Gearbox should get a type of system for the Eridium rerolls to where if you're choosing a specific Vault Hunter, like you're playing a specific Vault Hunter, like me for Flak, every time I reroll the machine, perhaps you should only give Universal or Flak anointments. I feel like that would be a way better way for Gearbox to keep the Eridium costs the same, but still give the players a higher chance on getting your desired Eridium, because as I said before, Gearbox kind of made this machine as like a secondary dice throw. It's not necessarily to give the anointment you want. As said, it's called a reroll. I don't think that Gearbox is going to make Borderlands 3 have players the option to just pick what you want, because it's never been like that in any type of game. No mechanic in the game related to farming allows you to get exactly what you want. So I feel like that really is the best solution for your Gearbox to do, is just to be like, okay, you're playing Flak, so you can only get Flak anointments or universal anointments. Oh, you're playing Moze, you can only get Moze anointments, vice versa for every single Vault Hunter. That would allow the Gearbox to keep the machine's desired effect to be like a secondary dice throw, and still be effective to what they have envisioned for players to do with the machine, but still allow players to get a higher % chance of getting their desired anointment. I feel like that would be the best way to lower the chances of you getting something you don't want. Now, I know this is a common trope for YouTubers to say, but did you know that only 6% of people that actually watch my videos are subscribing? So if you've been watching the channel for a long time, consider subscribing. It would really help me out, and let's continue the video. But it still would be pretty cool to see the machine have some type of secondary option that'll let you just pick the desired anointment that you want. That'd be kind of cool to see, just because instead of going onto the internet and looking at all the anointments, you could just go into the game and be like, okay, here's all the anointments in the game. That'd be like a kind of like a cool like little thing that they could add to the game. I feel like that'd be really cool, but I don't feel like it's very likely. So we're just gonna have to stick with the best solution being the Vault Hunter specific rerolls with the universal anointments. It would stop players from having to farm Eridium for long periods of time, or even trying to find the best method to farm Eridium. It would just make the player base spend a lot less time having to spend on the game to get their perfect item. Now, I know that seems really backwards and kind of weird for me to say, because, you know, Gearbox should be encouraging players to play the game as much as possible, but I don't want Gearbox to make the game into a chore. And I don't feel like the game is a chore at the moment. I feel like the reroll machine does add a little bit of flavor. It has helped me a lot in the past, allowing me to get my desired anointment. But I feel like with all the numbers and everything, taking a step back and looking at it with hindsight, it could be better. I feel like there's a major problem to the machine, as I said before, and there's just a lot of ways I feel like developers could fix the machine for the better. And it's not like it's a free play game where players have to play the game for Gearbox to make money. That's not what they need to do. Like we already bought the game. We already spent like what, $80 on the 2-season pass, depending on, or even more if you spent on the collector's edition or whatever. Like, they already got their money. There's no incentive for them to want us to keep playing the game as long as possible, farming stuff, but I could still see why they might still keep the machine the same, just to keep us playing the game and farming gear, because the community really does like farming. So maybe just F my idea, I don't know, but I really do think it'd be best if we just got some ways to reduce the chances of getting what you don't want, filtering out all the Vault Hunter anointments that you're not currently playing as. But how do you guys feel about that? Put in the comments below what you guys think on an appropriate solution to this. Maybe my ideas are dumb, just tell me if you disagree. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
And the last shall be first to immerse in a pass out heat, facing him up with a moxie melt till he woke up drowning in tchotchke hell. War in a cave with a torch on a wall, then a window arrangement of porcelain dolls.